Hi, my name is Alex Bannister, and this is my initial Blockmesh level. The player will be starting off as a investigator, investigating a disturbance that was reported in the middle of the woods. The player has three paths to choose from. They can choose between either going into the house, this shack, or going into the woods over here. What I'm going to start off with is going into the shack. When the player walks in, they will see two pickups that can combine into an axe, and eventually they will be able to break open this door that it will be right here to jump down into the underground part of the level. Down here is like an underground bunker, but they have more sinister things as with leads that they can discover down here. These blue things or pickups that can be combined into making ladders, which they will be able to use to maneuver around from up under here. In this area, be, it'll look more like almost a torture chamber, so for the most part, showing chains and other things and tools that are used for torture. This ladder won't be here initially, or they will find this pickup. The player will find this pickup over here, and once they have all three, they will be able to use this ladder like so, and it should bring them up here into the graveyard area, which will be the ending area when they interact with this last gravestone. But another place that they can go from here is actually into the house. So there's multiple paths into the house instead of walking through the front door. This will you can only use this when you have the three pieces to the ladder as well. When here, the player will also be able to use a flashlight, and they'll be able to use the flashlight the entire time. But in here is like a secret area which will be closed off unless you come through here, and you can only be opened from this side. Here's another chest which is a lead that the player can use to gather information for. And there is an upstairs and downstairs in the house. And so in here is a storage for like coats and stuff like that. Couple benches. This is a doorknob for a door upstairs. And here are candles that can be lit to help reveal things like this doorknob won't be there unless this is lit up. And here's bathroom. The player will move around, see more candles to light, which will reveal this knife that the player can use to gather more information about what's going on in the room. In a dining area, which is shown to have a disturbance happened in it. There's these four paintings that will be there but won't show any pictures until you click that, and then they'll show information that the player can gather. And then here's another lead in the office area that the player will get more information for after turning on this light. And then once upstairs is the first bathroom, or not bathroom, bedroom. And there's a candle in here. You won't see that just yet. And then they'll walk into the bathroom, turn on the light, and then this will show up, and that the player can collect. And then they can continue to walk down, investigating rooms that won't have much in it. And then this door will be locked, and this will need the doorknob from downstairs if the player actually collects it. Then once in here, they'll find an important piece of information which will give them a lot more details of what's happened in this house. And then in here is another bigger bedroom. This will be another piece of information, and then if they continue, they can find this key, which will open up the gate that is in the back to allow the player to come into the graveyard from the house area. And then they'll get there by going through the dining room and jumping out the window. And then for the third and final path, they'll go into the woods where they will see a fountain that'll lead them there. And there's another lead back here that the player can collect. And then they'll keep going, and then another lead that can be collected. And my plan for this area is that when they turn on these four lights or these four candles, this will change into like a sacrifice bench or table, and will have like a body on it, and will reveal some or some a key piece of information for the player. And then there's a key back here that the player will use to open up this gate. And then once you can investigate these graves, and some will reveal names, and some will show that there's the name is unreadable. And then, like I said earlier, once they reach here, this will be the last grave showing Sarah, who is the person was called to need that was needed to be investigated and reported on. And then that will be the end of the level.